Swang guys, this is SwaggerTurbo and welcome back to Season 2 of Scuteria Supari My Team Career Mode. If you haven't seen the trailer for Season 2, I would recommend you to go check it out because there's a lot of changes that's going to happen in this episode as well. You'll be able to see it here. So do check that out and let's continue with the episode. Obviously, new season, we have surprisingly saved every single upgrade that we had, and hopefully, our whole resource development and whatnot, we still don't have that much of resource, but our engine is looking pretty damn decent. The places where we are actually weak in is the chassis and the aero. So looking at the whole progress history now, you can see that we are the orange color at the bottom, and we are just slightly above Aston Martin and just below Haas. So not too bad, to be very honest. The upgrades that we have done till now are pretty basic ones. We have two major upgrades coming in for I think the next race and next to next race as well. So hopefully we can become a proper midfield team and maybe even push for a few wins towards the end of this season. Obviously, we'll have to see how the whole thing goes. But yeah, getting into quali right now, we have a McLaren as well as a Mercedes is swapping positions for first on the top left. You can see that, and it's going to be a very interesting quali as well because I want to see which car and which team has developed their car and the drivers with higher focus, how they will be able to adapt to season 2 and what kind of results will they be able to get, because we have Russell who was on provisional poll, let's say till now, and he has the highest focus if I'm not wrong, and let's see if that helps him with the Braun Mercedes. I should I need to start learning of the names as well, obviously, because new collabs going on in our universe of F1, and making a slight mistake in the penultimate corner, which is probably going to harm us in the run to the line. So right now it shows 21st on the top left. Let's see where we finish this quali, and it's only 20th. Of course, it's only the first race. We have a lot of development that we have to, go through with on this car. We had the proper amount of resources as well, which has been put into aero, which is pretty weak. And looking at the top three, we have George Russell with a very high focus in that Braun Mercedes getting first, Carlos Sainz getting second in that Alfa Romeo's Ferrari, Red Bull third, and McLaren fourth. The top four is different constructors altogether. So this is going to get extremely interesting to see who comes out on top. We are 20th, pretty close to Guan Yu Zhou and Latifi. We have more pace though, so let's just hope that we can show that pace in the main event, which is the race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Charles Leclerc and Hamilton, Perez, Ocon, Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo, Albon, Magnussen, Pierre Gasly and Mick Schumacher, Liam Lawson, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Guan Yu Zhou, Kumar, Latifi, Daruvula and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
So as usual, we are going to go with the one-stop strategy, and we have done a few upgrades to the fuel efficiency as well. So slowly we're going to try and figure out what's the right amount of fuel that we can have, and we'll do that in probably the next race, get down to like 0.5 or somewhere there, because last time around, the first season, our fuel saving was horrible. We didn't have any fuel efficiency, and unfortunately I had formation lap on this time around. Obviously I was supposed to turn it off for season 2, as I was saying in the last season as well, so it will be off in the next episode. But for now, we just had the formation lap, and I was very happy that we did have it, because if you see, we stopped at exact 0.0 meters, so pin perfect. Five red lights are turning on for the Australian Grand Prix Season 2 of Scuteria Supari, My Team Career Mode. It's five red lights and away we go. We get a pretty okay start as usual. The AI getting amazing starts, fantastic starts, should I say. Vettel in front is just flying through, and Darula is going side by side with us. Latifi, I think, banging tires with Joe, and we still are 19. So we didn't really gain any positions, but we didn't lose it either, which is the main thing. And can I just say, the BMW, oh my god, and while I'm talking about that, we have a crazy contact with Stroll behind. And actually, obviously, he was in front of us. We are having a crazy contact with him, almost drifting side by side, and thankfully, there's no damage. Obviously, we are still running simulation damage. We have strict corner cuttings, and we have increased safety car because last time we didn't really have any safety cars at all. So I want a bit of safety car action as well. Just add a bit of strategy here and there. We'll have to see how the whole thing pans out. But let's just focus on catching up to Joe right now because Tsunoda is hot on our tail and we have to make sure we put a car between us. And I'm just so mesmerized by all these different liveries that these cars have. The Audi obviously looking fabulous in that black and red. The purple AlphaTauri right behind us. Again, just an amazing livery, and I'm really, really in love with our livery as well. The whole orange, white, green just gives the perfect vibes with the perfect amount of blue as well. I'm just so happy that I got this livery on. And yeah, I'll just try and focus up on Joe now and let's try and catch him. Skipping a bit ahead on the same lap, and we are way closer to Joe, dumping a lot of ERS just to stay away from Tsunoda. But that actually has helped us to catch up a little bit at least to Joe. So next lap we'll get DRS and we can go for a move. And while I'm talking about that, we go for a dive down the inside, crazy dive bomb, no contact made, super clean move on Guan Yu Zhou, and we have his teammate Liam Lawson, our ex-teammate, and what a move that was. We just dived it down the inside. Both of us gave each other just the right amount of space. No contact made. And we have the move done. Lap 5 now. The same kind of move. We do the exact same thing on Liam as well. We went for a full sin dive bomb on Joe. And somewhat similar dive bomb on Liam as well. And Audi must be thinking, what is going on? Because both their drivers just got done by a dive bomb from us, which is pretty damn crazy. Again, dumping a little bit of ERS now just to get into the DRS zone from Vettel so that we can get a bit of DRS from Vettel and maybe even just stick with him for a few laps and then maybe, going for a move on him. Because as I said, our quali pace isn't the best, but race pace is actually pretty okay. And all these cars, at least, that are in front and behind us, both the Audis as well as Aston Martin and the Williams, the BMW Williams, all of us have similar pace. And Vettel goes into the pits. Of course, he started on softs. I don't really think that's the kind of strategy they want because I'm pretty sure they have lost a lot of time, and so does Magnussen. So now I need to try and push like crazy, get DRS off of Albon, who's in front of us, and the BMW Williams is actually doing pretty damn well in Australia at least. So both of us have done pretty decent amount of development throughout the winter, and lap 13 now, we are right behind Albon in the DRS. Are we going to go for a move? Jehan Daruwala is out, our teammate is out, and what has happened? And here's a replay of what happened, and it is an engine blowout. The first race of Season 2, and something's wrong with his engine. Oh my god, no idea what has happened with the Ferrari engine. But unfortunately, lap 13, Jehan had to retire because of an engine issue. We are right behind Albon though. Let's try and get a good pit stop in. We are in the optimal turn in obviously. And we have closed up the gap quite a bit to Albon here. And we have the likes of Schumacher and Gasly on the main straight. Will we be able to get one of them? No, but we're going side by side with Magnussen here almost getting, this wing damage right there. And thankfully, we just stay in front of him. And Vettel is putting on a shift to get Magnussen. Obviously, we are behind Magnussen. and we have made the overcut work, getting DRS off of Albon for those 6-7 laps, and just setting consistent times has helped us with a better strategy, obviously, has helped us just stay in front of Magnussen as well as Vettel now. So our strategy is just playing perfectly over here. These guys went from soft all the way to hard, so we will have better purchase from these tires towards the end of the Grand Prix as well, hopefully. And right now we have to focus on Gasly and Albon in front rather than thinking about the guys behind us, because we have a pretty healthy gap to Magnussen, who's right behind and overtaken Vettel. And while I'm talking about overtakes, Albon goes extremely wide. I think he missed his braking zone, and Gasly and I almost collect him. Going wide yet again. No idea what's wrong with that BMW Williams, but thankfully we don't lose a front wing. Got extremely close to him, but as I said, thankfully no contact made, and that's a free position for us. And while I'm talking about free position, we get one more off of Liam Lawson, who pit in that Audi Sport, the first season for Audi in our universe, obviously. And cutting to lap 19 now, we are right behind Gasly, and I'm dropping quite a lot of ERS. We had it saved right behind Gasly. We're just chilling behind him, getting a little bit of ERS here and there to try and make a move, and we're going side by side on this fast left-hander. This ain't going to end well, and we make the move stick. Somehow there was no contact between both of us, and that move just worked. It's like that's the least expected spot to make an overtake, but I sent it down the inside. But that's not it, because obviously Gasly is going to get DRS off of us now, and I'm going to go extremely defensive here and not give him any slipstream. Gonna dump all the DRS yet again. We have 40%. Saved up quite a bit for making moves, obviously. Ricardo is 5 seconds in front of us, though. That's going to be a proper hill for us to climb, because I don't think that this car, the Scuteria Supari car that we have right now, has that kind of potential to maybe catch that 5.2 seconds up, because Ricardo is pretty quick in that McLaren of his. Skipping to lap 29 now, Magnussen is right behind us. He has overtaken Gasly, and he's in the DRS range of us, but we have 30% ERS. I saw him coming and overtaking Gasly as well. So I was like, you know what? It's inevitable that he catches us up, but will we be able to keep him behind us and almost cutting the corner? Thankfully, we did get a penalty for that, or even a warning somehow. And all you have to do is go through these last few corners, and we have 11th in the bag. Of course, we won't get a point, but Magnus is giving it his all to try and overtake us. And I think we can just say that we have got this position sealed. Even Gasly, and there's a full-on train behind us, and there we go. We finish the Australian Grand Prix in 11th position. Wow. But yeah, didn't really expect to be finishing somewhere, in the points anyways. And we get the driver of the day as well, which is even better. So yeah, overall, pretty decent race. Had a lot of fights here and there. Very, very good strategy. And Braun Mercedes get their first win of season 2. Could this collaboration be the most successful one? Or will Alpine actually do something and get more podiums? Esteban Ocon, I was talking about this in the trailer as well. Esteban Ocon in the United Colors of Benetton Alpine has somehow got a podium. I have no idea what's happened with the Ferraris or the McLaren of Lando Norris, but the first ever result is Russell first, Verstappen second, and Esteban Ocon third. Who would have thought? But yeah, we'll have to see if the Braun Mercedes can just take this momentum and get a constructors for themselves, and can Russell get his first ever World's Drivers Constructors trophy. So a lot of things that we have to see in this particular series, and this is just the start, obviously, and there's just so much more to come. We can see the British flags in the back just getting waved. So yeah, overall a pretty decent
So
race
let's
day
check
for
in
us
with the
as well,
undefeated drivers now.
gaining 8
Carlos
positions,
Russell takes the lead
finishing
in the
11th,
Drivers' Championship
which
after
is
today's
kind of bittersweet
incredible show.
because
Let's
we were so
focus on the
close yet so
standings
far
now.
kind of thing, but
Let's
the
see
guys
who's
up
leading.
front
Come on,
were
who do
just
you pick?
way too
I have
quick
to
and
give
we
it to
couldn't catch them up.
K1. Look at
Lando
where
coming
it is
fourth,
compared to where
Hamilton
it
fifth,
started.
Carlos
It's
Sainz
not
at
easy
sixth.
to
As I
cut through
said,
a field
this
like
has
that
not
in
been
Formula
a
One,
good
so it was a bit
race
frustrating.
for both the
Let's move on
Ferrari
to the
Alfa
constructors.
Romeos
Mercedes
because
cruise to the
Charles
top of the
Leclerc's
table.
only
It's
ninth
been an absolutely
and
wild
Carlos
weekend of
Sainz
Formula
also
One
not getting the
action.
result that he
I
wanted
can't
to.
wait to see
So
what's
let's quickly
next.
check the standings. We obviously know the top three, and it's pretty crazy because the top four are completely different constructors. And the person, or should I say the team, that is leading the constructors right now is Braun Mercedes from Red Bull and Alpine. Hope you guys enjoyed this first part, and hopefully we get points in the next episode. I'll see you guys in that one. Goodbye and peace.